All right, we've reviewed this related statistical information. We've prepared the data file. Now it's time to bring it all together. This might seem like it's a little too simple after all the work involved in getting the data file together, since SPSS makes it relatively easy. We use descriptive statistics in two separate parts of the manuscript, the participant section and the results section. We're describing the sample in both sections, but from different perspectives and for different purposes. In the participant section, it helps provide context for the results, so we can think about generalizability. In the results section, it helps us understand the variables of interest, and in most cases, it contributes to what we know from the inferential statistics. When we're conducting the analysis for the results section, the process of obtaining the inferential results usually gives the option of running descriptive statistics at the same time. We need to know how to obtain descriptive statistics on their own, though, for the participant section and other situations where we just need the descriptive statistics. The first step in running descriptive statistics is to open the data file in SPSS and go to the Analyze menu at the top, then select Descriptive Statistics. For our purposes, selecting frequencies is the most efficient way to conduct the analysis. After we select frequencies in the Analyze menu, we should have a dialog box that looks like the one in the slide. The next step is to select the variable or variables we want to analyze by clicking in the box at the left side. We usually select the demographic variables and scale scores. We don't usually do descriptive statistics on individual questions. Note, too, that the scale scores are usually at the bottom of the list of variables on the left. After we click on the variables, we click on the arrow in the middle to move the variable to the box at the right, to the variables list. The last step in this dialog box is to click on the button labeled Statistics. When we click on the Statistics button in the Variables dialog, we'll see this dialog. We'll focus on the upper right section and the lower left. We select the statistics we want to include in our analysis by clicking on the box to the left of the name. Keep in mind that SPSS will let us select anything we'd like, and it will do the analysis even if it doesn't make sense given the way the variable was measured. Given that, you might want to go through the process twice, once for categorical variables and once for numerical. For example, when you're finding the information for the participant section, you might run the analysis for gender and ethnicity variables, then reset and run it again for age. After we're done selecting statistics, we click Continue. Running the risk of being repetitive, I really do want to emphasize this point. SPSS is a really sophisticated program, but it can't think for us. It won't tell us that a particular analysis doesn't make any sense given the data or our variables. That's why we have to make sure to think through what we're doing. If you want to hear the full story about why I make such a point of mentioning this, feel free to send me an email. We'll leave the Display Frequency Tables option checked. That'll give us a table for each variable that lists the frequency for each response, and then we'll click OK. Shazam! We have results in the output window. The top table includes the results for each of the statistics we selected. They're in rows with each variable in a column. The row labeled N valid is the number of cases that had values for the variable, and the row labeled N missing is the number of cases that were missing data. There will also be a frequency table for each variable we analyze. Sometimes this information is less informative, but it's easiest to keep it in the output in case we need it. This is where we'd find the number of participants in each category for a categorical variable. That's the number in the column labeled frequency. The percent column is the percentage of the entire sample that had the value, whereas the valid percentage is the percentage of the valid cases that had the value. Remember, valid cases are the ones that had a value for this variable. The cumulative percentage column is the percentage of cases with a score equal to or less than this value. That can be informative for numerical values if we have a scale like strongly agree and agree, and we want to know the percentage that didn't disagree. Note that, like other things we've learned about, APA style has a specific format for reporting the results, and the tables in SPSS are not in APA style. The templates and other resources for class include details about APA style formatting for statistics.